100 days is a very long time. Some people survive 100 days in hardcore Minecraft. Some people quit drugs and alcohol for 100 days. Some people, like myself, are banned for 100 days within going in any public or private school zone. But today, that's not what we're focusing on. We're focusing on N9AO, who 100 days ago started asking me, day one of asking for a chess.com diamond membership, and 100 days later, no breaks, no stopping, consistency, 100 USD American days he spent asking for a chess.com diamond membership. And I said, if he can beat me in a Blitz, Bullet, or Rapid game, he can get a diamond membership. But these are his stats here. He's only 1,300 in Bullet, 1,400 in Blitz, and 1,500 in Rapid. So I didn't think there was much hope, but we're going to be going through all of these games today, the Blitz, Bullet, and Rapid game, and seeing if he actually won a diamond membership. I did record these games, but the recording got chopped somehow, so now we're just going to have to look at them after we played it. Anyway, starting off with the first game, I was a black pieces, going for my typical King's Indian defense little setup. He was kind of copying me on this side of the board, just literally copying my every single move, but I am rated 2,000 in Bullet, and he's only 1,200. So I think he was just thinking whatever I did probably would be a good idea. Anyways, we get this F4 move, which is actually good for the white pieces. And I'm just focused on pushing all my pieces up into his position, but he's maintaining a pretty good position here. And the only problem is he's not the fastest in Bullet. Okay, he does blunder there. That should lose his pawn. I do not see it. But okay, we trade some pieces, and then we're, advancing some pieces on the king side, which is the only thing I focus on when playing my specific opening here. Now, this individual, I knew he was higher rated in Rapid, so I knew I had to play quickly because if he understood the position, he'll probably find some better moves. But yeah, I'm just doing my normal stuff here. I don't know why he did. I guess that was to guard this pawn, but his bishop's already guarding it. So I actually don't know what King H2 really was for. But anyways, my piece is coming in. Ooh, major blunder there. Now we could just take this pawn for free, which, okay, this is a Bullet game, so like you can't expect me to see all these things. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is free. After retakes, we could take with the bishop, and we're just absolutely dominating this position here. Anyways, I do not see that. I would say this is still a fine move, though, because it takes up so much space in his position, and the computer doesn't like this, but for any normal player, I feel like they wouldn't know how to defend this. And I was, in fact, right, because I ended up moving my king over to h8 to get this little double up here. Yeah, I ended up getting a great position here, and this knight is actually doing amazing things for my position, putting pressure on this pawn, and now my bishop's putting pressure, and my queen. So one could say my knight f4 move wasn't actually that bad. Anyways, we continue onward. Rook comes over here. Now this is just kind of all over. My knight is offering pressure on this pawn, so we can take that. We can also take there, and yeah, this is mate in one. Good stuff on our first game, but not looking good for our opponent here who spent 100 days straight just to get destroyed in his first game. So moving on to the Blitz game, I know my opponent would be much better in Blitz than he was Bullet because that's the closest to Rapid, which is his highest rating. So here we go. I used to be 2,000 in Blitz, but I kind of fell off because I'm washed. Anyways, we're going for the Queen's. I wanted to play a different opening here, so I kind of did the Queen's pawn type of opening. And yeah, we're just playing normally here. He's doing actually the same exact opening as he was doing last game, which was actually kind of surprising. I thought he would change things up. I started pushing my h-pawn immediately because I just want to cause some ruckus over here on the king side. I thought if I pushed all my pawns up here, I would be more in tune with the tactical positions than he would. And we'll see if I'm right or not. But so far, we have an amazing position here. Smart move by him bringing his queen in, because if my queen's traded off, I have less pieces to attack, and my queen's the most powerful piece. So actually, not a bad move by him. I go knight h6 because if I could get this dark square bishop off the board, I'm thinking that would be amazing for me. Also, if my dark square bishop was here, I can just trap the king in this little corner, and we'd be being chilling. He does not take, though, but now we do have this check, which, okay, well, I think I go for that later, but I'm threatening this for now. Yeah, rook moves over to defend this. Yeah, then I do go for that check, and I'm planning to position my knight on g5 because I feel like that's an amazing position. It hits this pawn. He can push here, but then I just go knight back here, and I think I can take there. Unless he plays g5, but maybe I missed that in the game. I'm not actually sure what I do here. I do go back here to attack this pawn, and then he pushes there to defend. So he's actually playing this pretty well, not making any major blunders here. But I actually love this position here because my knights, amazing pressure, they're centralized. His pieces, like his bishops, are doing pretty good. But personally, in this position, I felt like I had a lot of control. My rook could come over to the open file. This pawn is a little bit weak, but I feel like that could be dealt with pretty easily. So we continue onward. Yeah, I do go knight e6, and then obviously this bishop has a lot of power over here, so I just take it off the board. Very simplistic. And now the computer loves this position, and so would I, honestly. We take this pawn, that's just a free pawn, and now this rook is trapped back here. If it goes over here, we have a discovered attack with a little check, and our bishop attacks the rook. We're just winning, and yeah, he just sacrifices the rook. Probably best move by him. And now I'm just up 3 points of material, leading into the end game. He has a minute on the clock too, so I'm up a lot on time. And all I have to do is trade off pieces, and I should be able to get the easy victory royale here, which do I end up doing? Yeah, this is a bishop versus rook. He should have resigned, which he does. Okay, approach to queen, he resigns. So second game already, this individual's probably thinking, I just spent 100 days messaging someone on chess.com, wasted about 100 days of my life just to get absolutely destroyed and violently violated in the first 2 games. So now he has to come back in this last game, or he will not be getting a diamond membership, which is what this whole 100-day thing has led up to. Keep in mind, I've not played Rapid in so long. I do weird challenges, which is why my rating is so low. He's almost 1600. So this is by far his strongest game mode. I start off with the queen's pawn opening again because I kind of like this. I usually play the king's Indian attack, but I wanted to try a little bit of a different opening here, and you'll see what I end up doing here in a few moves. I end up, pinning this knight, and then I think to myself, I will sacrifice my knight here because it looks good. Now, he's actually up a point in material, but the computer thinks it's about equal. And so do I, because if I play this pretty well, I have double bishops here, a bunch of pressure on his kingside position. I can push my e-pawn up here. We have a lot of potential here. As long as they don't make any severe or continuous blunders, then we'll be fine. I think here I could just castle to protect this pawn, and we're fine. We don't even have to take here. We could even block off this bishop with d5. I'm not a fan of me taking this pawn immediately, but in the game, yeah, I didn't think too much about that. So anyways, yeah, we do captures here. Knight absolutely blunders there. I'm thinking of putting pressure on this knight, but that's obviously not the right choice, because after bishop takes, we retake. And now actually the best move here is queen e7, because now I cannot retake this pawn. Pressure my king, I have to castle. This knight's gonna get centralized. It's not looking too good for me here. He does not play that though. He moves the rook over to c8, we castle. I can take this pawn, which I do. The computer doesn't like that, but I thought it was fine. Queen comes down to e4. Now my pawns are looking a little bit weak here. Also, these bishops are just hanging. Do I end up doing that? No, I end up blundering my bishop. I do remember this actually. I was literally playing in a coffee shop while playing this game, and once I blundered my bishop, I felt depression in my soul, and I think the people did around me because they were giving me strange looks after I screamed as loud as at the top of my lungs. Anyways, we go here, rook e1. He just takes my pawn because obviously if he trades off the queen, we're fine. And unfortunately, I do trade off my queen. Not the wisest of choices, but I guess I kind of had to. Rook e7. Here, I'm just trying to create any sort of attack. Right now, I'm planning on doubling up my rooks on this file because if I can, I might be able to get a cheap little checkmate here. But unfortunately, he has too much pressure. He's good at rapid. Okay. Oh, yeah. He actually sacrifices. This was actually a pretty good play by him. I'm going here thinking it kind of defends this whole situation. He just sacrifices the rook. I take the pawn, takes the bishop. And now we're down 5, and we're in the deep end game. So do I end up coming back here? If I was like a grandmaster or good at rapid, I might be able to. Unfortunately, the answer to that question is no. Everything just got taken off the board. I was looking for a stalemate here. But he ended up getting this really interesting checkmate with a knight and rook and king. So I ended up getting absolutely destroyed in this rapid game, and he ended up winning a diamond membership, as you can see on his account here. Also, if you guys want to message me on chess.com, you can. Chess.com, though, reset my username to whatever this is because I was LARPing as Gotham Chess, which they did not like. But anyways, that's all for this video. I might actually post 2 today. So whenever I do, see you in the next video.